Welcome back to Women's Strength and Bodybuilding. My name is Mark, and let's get right into the event you've all been waiting for, the 2023 Miss Olympia. This has been an absolutely crazy Olympia weekend, and I just can't believe Sarah Villegas ended up knocking out Natalia Kovaleva. I just can't process it, but we'll save that for the women's physique recap. If you saw my post about Andrea winning, it looks like there's some mixed feelings about it. Some people thought she deserved to win. Other people thought she deserved to win, but that somebody needs to come along and outdo her. And then there are other folks who thought Proyo deserved to win. And I'm over here like, can't we just be happy for Andrea? We all saw how she looked at the Rising Phoenix, and at that show it was much closer between her and Angela Yo, but we all knew that was not her final form. And if you ask me, she showed up in prime condition here and absolutely crushed it. She's looking freakishly big, and I personally love the winning streak. Don't get me wrong, I think a lot of my viewers having opposing viewpoints is absolutely necessary, and it's exactly what the sport needs. It creates controversy and a competitive edge akin to that in the men's divisions, and the fans could really help drive more notoriety amongst the lady competitors. There's not too much that I can say about Andrea, other than I think this might be the best version of her we've seen yet. It's funny that we're starting to see a lot of the women who are competing today are making the women from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s look small. Eventually competitors get bigger and bigger, and the entire division levels up, and that's pretty exciting to see. I totally get where you guys are coming from and wanting to see her shaken up a little bit, or even seeing Proyo take home the W. But me personally, I'm glad Andrea was able to bring this one in. I hope she can get some good rest and have some good food in the off season, and that we see her back on stage at age 40 next year, pushing the bounds of what's possible in female bodybuilding. In second place was Proyo, and she had really beautiful makeup here. And like I said about Andrea, it appears that Proyo largely stayed the same from the Rising Phoenix, whereas Andrea kicked it up another gear. Apparently Andrea had a few tricks up her sleeve, because she was able to max out in a lot of key poses like her back double bicep shot, and really bring that next level of fullness, roundness, size, and conditioning. Not saying that what Proyo brought was bad. It was actually really good, but I'm sure that a lot of you diehard fans would even have to agree that she wasn't quite as full and as dense as Andrea at this show. Honestly, I don't even think it's that big a deal, and I think Proyo will continue to make massive strides like she did this year, and her time will come. It might not have been this year, it might not be next year, but if she keeps up with the freaky size and insane cuts, one day she's gonna have her moment. Just you wait. Third place was a total shocker. From out of nowhere. Was it Michaela? Nope. Okay, how about Natalia Kovaleva? Nope. Bro, it was Alcione Barretto, and you might never have heard of her. The female bodybuilding channel has a great video of her posing at the 2023 Portugal Pro, and honestly I liked her look a lot better at that show than I did at the Olympia. I don't know guys, I'm not sure how this appearance was good enough to displace Natalia Kovaleva and Michaela, but apparently the judges thought it was. Check out that video of her at the Portugal Pro flexing, then take a look at the pictures of the 2023 Olympia. I don't know, this might be a little bit fishy, but I wasn't there in person, so I can't call it for sure. For the most part, I agreed with the placings at the Rising Phoenix, but there's definitely some head scratchers here at this Olympia. In fourth place was Sherri Priami, and this was definitely another surprise. If you guys remember my Rising Phoenix recap video, Sherri took home 7th place. It looks like she did fill in a little bit more and made some improvements, but I don't know if it was good enough to take home 4th and kick Michaela back to 6th place. Her legs definitely didn't look as thick as Michaela's in a lot of these poses. Michaela may have had some trouble controlling her midsection in between some of these poses, but when it was flexed, it looked super on point. It's not like Sherri's control of her midsection was perfect either, so I'm really having trouble understanding how somebody could fall 3 placings in 1 month. I don't want to take anything away from Sherri, because she still looked outstanding, but is anybody else feeling like what the heck is going on with the top 5 right now? Another big surprise was Natalia Kovaleva coming in 5th. After her win at this year's New York Pro, everybody was expecting it to be neck and neck with her and Andrea. It looks like her conditioning may have slipped a little bit, and this is what I'm finding about other competitors like Natalia Kovaleva, who didn't prioritize the Olympia like the winners did. In bodybuilding, you're lucky if you get one true peak per year, and Andrea dialed it in so perfectly and hit the nail right on the head. But some of these other ladies who are trying to peak twice in the same year are running the risk that they might not be bringing the best version of themselves to the Olympia, and that may have been what happened here. Her development wasn't quite there with what she brought to the New York Pro, especially in the glutes and legs, which are 2 areas that I definitely recommended she focus on her way to the Olympia. These are just my critiques. because I'm a huge fan of Natalia and would have absolutely loved to see her in second or third place. But all things considered, coming out of nowhere to win the New York Pro, then place top 5 at the Olympia is a massive accomplishment in itself, and I'm really proud of her. I think if she gets some good rest in the off season, then really tries to focus on the Olympia, she could have that same wow factor next year like she did at the New York Pro this year. So that's your top 5 in a nutshell. But we really need to talk about some of these other placings, because it's just like, what the f? I keep comparing Michaela to Alcione. I mean, both are incredible athletes, but in my opinion, Michaela brought better separation and detail, especially in her legs. Also, check out the difference between the bicep peaks. The only thing I can think is that maybe Michaela's too small. She's always the shortest one at all her shows, so it makes me think that she's quite petite, around 5'1", or maybe 5'2", and it's just tough for her to compare to the women around 5'7" or 5'8" who have much larger frames. I thought Michaela looked her best this year at the Linda Murray Pro, which she lost to Michaela Aycock, and even that was a head scratcher. But she ended up beating her at the Tampa Pro and the Rising Phoenix, so that kinda made up for it. Bro, at this point she definitely reminds me of Bev Francis, who is often overlooked because she was totally unconventional. I think Michaela's unconventional, but in a different way, and if I was her, I'd be pissed about these placings. They make no sense in line with the rest of the shows that we've been seeing leading up to the Olympia. And it's not like her conditioning really fluctuated here. She still looked super crazy and conditioned as always. And even though it wasn't my favorite appearance of hers, I think it was her best one if we're going by size and conditioning alone. Hopefully Michaela's not too upset about it. She has the heart of a champion, and she's always able to take these placings in stride. I just hate for her to end her career because of these lousy and unfair placings like Bev Francis did, continuing to place lower because of politics, rather than being judged and graded on the physique she brought. Broke Bev's heart, and it would be a shame if one day the same happened to Michaela. Let's hope that day never comes. She should have been top 3 in my book for sure. In 7th place was Michaela Aycock, and it's been a really wild ride how neck and neck she's been with Michaela all summer long, up until this point. In 8th place was Chelsea Dion, and I'm a big fan. I think she's got a really great look, and congrats to her on outplacing some OGs. In 9th place was Roshana Boswell, who won the Masters Olympia, and in 10th place was Julia Whittisell. Bro, these placings seem off. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Please like the video, and subscribe to hear the results of women's physique in detail, where more shitty placings ended up happening.